What is going on, guys? The real Napoleon here, and I am excited to show off this tank that I've worked so hard for. Operation Summer is coming to an end, and I think it's been kind of an interesting event. I can't say that I enjoyed the grind, but I think the rewards were definitely well worth it, and I'm glad I have the IS-7 sitting in my hangar, safe and sound, snuggled over here. I did I did the grind for the T-34, and then I ended up spending $30 in parts for the IS-7 to work out the last 9 hours of grinding. I just didn't have time to complete that grind. So overall, it's been fun, but exhausting event. But look at this baby; it's so beautiful. I'm so excited to have it sitting here in my hangar. Now, the number one thing I've seen in every matchup that I've been playing is IS-7 OP. IS-7 OP. We can't kill it. We can't kill it. In my experience, that's not necessarily true. I think this is one of the best balanced tanks that have come out in a while. Uh, its gun is strong, but not super strong. Its armor is strong, but has some weak spots. Um, but me and my buddy, Mr. Snugglebottom, went through and did some scientific testing, and I got some info for you. So there are definitely some spots that you can kill the tank. There's some spots that you're not going to be able to kill the tank, and we'll just get right into it and we'll go through it. So I want to take a look at the armor real quick. I mean, anybody that's seen a video from any of the other content creators kind of has already seen the armor, but if you haven't, we'll go through it real fast. So as you can see, the pike nose, the upper glacis, most rounds are going to bounce off of this. If not, they'll do very little damage, 150 millimeters, but at a direct shot, which is what you're going to be getting from most of these tanks when they're facing up to you, you have an effective thickness of about 360 to 300 and almost 400 millimeters, depending on where you're shooting in the upper glacis. So the weak spot's definitely going to be around this pike nose, but like I said again, that's really a tough shot. Your only chance is like a really lucky bounce shot right here, but in our testing that proved to be pretty trolly, and it's hard to get it into that spot. Lower glacis, 240 millimeters, depending on where you shoot it. It's definitely penetrable at 8.0. We had pretty good luck killing at least the driver and the engine, but you're not going to one shot the tank from the bottom. We couldn't get any one shots from the lower glacis in the tanks that we were shooting at it with. Now, moving up to the turret, the armor on the turret tends to provide some weird characteristics, right? So you don't have much of a lip right here that you can shoot at. So this ends up being one of the weak spots on the turret, both sides, especially this little box right here. Now, granted, it's 250 millimeters of effective thickness, but if the tank you're fighting is straight ahead of you, which you're going to be angling or you're not going to be angling your tank, you're going to be going head on. What we've noticed is certain APDS rounds will go through here, and then Sabo rounds will go through this thing like butter, especially this area here, this area. If you start aiming up a little bit higher, the slope angle turns this thing into a beast. Now, the one spot you always want to shoot at, this optic right here, let me turn off the X-ray. This optic right here is a direct line of sight right into the crew right here. So if you get it through that optic, you're definitely taking out these two crew members, and depending on the round that you use, you're probably hitting some of this ammo that's back here in the turret. We had some one hits from that optic just from the spalling and whatnot. Moving on to the side, just in between, oh my god, just in between the track and the upper armor is kind of a weak spot, but in our experience, it's a little trolly. But if you can catch an IS-7 from the side, that's not a bad spot to shoot. Sides of the turret are very unreliable with penetration. Cupolas are good shots if you can hit them, but then again, they're very low profile, so they're hard to hit. Overall, I think you're facing this tank with heat, with sabos, directly front on is where you're going to be fighting it unless you flank him. So this is going to be where you want to shoot this little area here. Same right here. And that'll at least almost every time take out his cannon breach or his barrel. And this tank is really bad about blowing rounds inside the cannon breach or the barrel. From the back, you have obviously very light armor from the back, only about 100 millimeters of thickness. So this is easy to pen. You have a sloped armor here. This tends to be a little bit more trolly, but you can take out the engine right here, and then you have some tracks and whatnot. So overall, I would say it's not impossible tank to kill. It's just a hard tank to kill. So let's get into some of that footage, and we'll show you kind of some of our experience shooting these tanks. We took out some crews in a custom battle with American, German, and then some Brits, and we'll show you kind of your best bet on how to kill the IS-7, the Beast. All right, so we took these tanks out to Advance to the Rhine, just a nice easy map to face off in, and we put these two tanks every single matchup against some reasonable distances, and honestly these are like best case scenarios for killing the IS-7 as it would be. So just to prove that the tank is not OP, we wanted to stack them up the odds against the IS-7, give you the least amount of chance, because everybody says it's super OP, so we're going to show you that it's really not as overpowered as everybody wants it to be. So typical fighting stance, you're going to be straight up on the IS-7, and we'll show you some of these shots that we got off, right? So first up, we have the ATGM. This shot penned the inside of the tank right in the front, took out our driver from the upper glacis, and actually damaged our engine and our loader here. This would be a disabling shot. I don't recommend it though, because this shot's going to still leave the big 130 to take you out, and it will finish you off in short work. All right, so we got an upper glacis shot from the upper glacis shot. We got a turret shot with the rocket from the M551. You definitely want to shoot for the turret every single time, and this is going to be your result. We got an ammo rack as well as the crew blowing up. So upper glacis, you're going to get massive damage. It'll disable the tank, but really you want to shoot for the front of the turret right in this area, and those ATGMs are going to take care of it. Now, that was our experience with all ATGMs. So any ATGM that you have that can pen the tank, go for the turret. All right, so now we got the M103, 120 millimeters with AP rounds, and we're kind of just testing out what is going to bounce what. So we took our first shot upper glacis, and it was a complete bounce. That's a waste of your time. This next shot was lower glacis, and it did big damage. I'm on fire. Took out 2 of my crew members, yellowed and orange the rest of them, and killed my engine. I'm sitting duck at this point, but same thing to note, my gun is still up and ready to kill. So lower glacis, big damage, but unless you can get back into cover really fast, it's not your kill shot. And then the next shot was right there in the turret and killed the tank. So that same spot, lower turret, is going to be your money shot for this tank in almost any tank. All right, so we just tanked a turret shot from the heat up top. No damage, just bounce. And that kind of goes to show right up here, you're starting to get into the trolley area. Right down here is your money shot. So we're going to take another shot just to make sure. We took a shot right on the mantlet. That did big damage, took our breach away. Now we're sitting duck, no armament. We can still drive off, but we're defanged for the moment. All right, so this was a nice nice shot to the angle turret. It hit right around this area. Again, we have big damage here. Crew members getting hurt. This is our gunner and our loader. I think that's the gunner actually. One of our loaders is dead though, so this tank is immobilized at this point. We try the same shot on the other side to no avail. Again, this is not where you want to aim. right down here. Now we're gonna go ahead and turn the turret to the side and see how a side shot fares.
Bruh.
No damage. This is again a trolley area. This should be a nice breach shot, if not at least a few members dead. But because of the curve of the turret, you're just gonna bounce every single time. I didn't take any damage from that shot. But right here in the bottom, that lower like 5 inches right there, that's your money shot right there. And that ended up taking out all of my tank, blew it up. All right, so now we're going with the heat shell from the M103. Let's see where this one can pen. Again, these are kind of most ideal situation. So lower glacis, no real damage. That took out my driver, but I'm immobile, but I'm still deadly. We're gonna go for the upper turret right now. And that was a kill shot. So it really plays out the same for most of the chemical rounds, and that goes for almost every nation. This area here, heat is deadly on all nations. This area here, you get trolled a lot. Weak spot for the cannon breach is right here in the fabric, but again, that's a hard shot. You can go for the mantlet. That also destroys the turret, or it doesn't destroy the turret, but it destroys the cannon breach. All right, so we got the M60A1 Rise P with the APDS round. Let's see where this round ends up doing its damage. So that was the upper glacis shot, no pen. Again, every single round, don't go for the upper glacis. It doesn't make any difference. That was another upper glacis round. That one actually took out my driver, but it was kind of a lucky shot. Or excuse me, that was my lower glacis. And I believe this one's going to be a turret. Yep, right in the turret. You can see that magic spot right there. And I have 2 crew members dead right now. My cannon breach is yellow. The ammo right here is yellow. That was pretty decent damage. It's at least going to stop the tank from putting in a hurt to you. Tried it on the other side and it trolled straight through. No damage, which is super weird actually. All right, so now we got Mr. Snuggie over here, and he's got the Sabo shell loaded up. So let's see what kind of damage the Sabo can do. Upper glacis is a no-go. And that goes to show you right there. Sabo right through the turret, dead. Instant death. So definitely there are ways to kill the tank. More often than not, you're going to get trolled by the upper glacis. Lower glacis, you can pen it but not do a killing blow. But you want to definitely go for the turret right in the magic spot. All right, guys. We're here back at Advance to the Rhine, and we got the German lineup. So, first up is the meme brawl, IS-7 versus the Mouse. This is conclusively, I'll blow the secret right off the bat, conclusively going to be an IS-7 matchup if it was a real-world situation. So the Mouse, we try to give it as many advantages as we could. And we'll just speed through this really fast.
No.
The IS-7 doesn't penetrate or excuse me, the mouse doesn't penetrate anything whatsoever on the IS-7.
Look at his lips.
You can annoy the IS-7, but you cannot kill it. All right, so we got the Big Light Panzer, and if you're in the Big Light Panzer, just run from the IS-7. It's not going to happen. The only way you can kill it was with the ATGM. So let's actually let's fast forward over to the ATGM. All right, so our first ATGM hit was a massive hit. Took out crew, took out my breach. Actually, it didn't take out my breach. Just crew and the turret ring and the engine. And the second shot blasted my crew. ATGMs in any situation are deadly to the IS-7, especially at the ranges ATGMs are going to be fighting at. The first one's going to disable you, and the second one's going to kill you. So if you see rockets flying, you better watch out. All right, so we got your Leopard 1 here. This is what the IS-7 is going to face off probably the most, honestly. And I think this is pretty interesting. Right now we're using APDS rounds, and the same magic spot is going to get you some crew member kills, but it's just not reliable. But I think at this BR, most people are going to be using heat rounds. Heat's extremely deadly for the IS-7 from this Leopard. Now, you're going to be able to annoy him, penetrating him on the side of the turret, but we'll just fast forward a bit. All right, so now we got heat. The first heat round.
Oh God!
Upper glacis.
No, God, please.
We got fire
no,
and
no,
penned.
No.
This is big damage on the upper glacis.
No!
Second heat round did alright. And you can see we're getting shot right here. So third heat round was right through the magic spot and just dead. We're killed. Heat from the Leo one, or any of the Leos, go for the turret in the magic spot. You're gonna kill him. Usually one hitter. All right, guys. So for the tea time, the Brits, the first thing we have up is a Chieftain Mark III with APDS rounds, and we're gonna go head on with them. Upper glacis bounces. That's not a surprise right there. The next shot's gonna be right in the pike nose. That took my driver. We're surprised that actually that penned, but he just got orange. Lower glacis kills the driver and my engine. Again, the same as with most tanks. Now the magic spot right here, that killed 2 crew members. Yelled out the breach. The final killing shot was on the left side. So if you're gonna go with the APDS 1-2 punch, magic spot here and kind of a trolley spot here, but basically lower turret ring is where it's at. All right, so now we're using the Hesh shell with the Chieftain. Upper glacis is nothing. It gives us no damage whatsoever, just a yellow track. Lower glacis, same story, no pen. Now we're going for the turret. And the magic area doesn't work with Hesh, which is interesting. Now we got a nice shot right by the cupola. We got a fire and 2 crew members dead. And the finishing shot, let's see where it hits. Same spot. So there was tons of spalling from this shot. That was like right on the optic, right on the corner of the cupola. That's where you want to shoot with the Hesh. That's gonna blast straight down into the turret and just cause havoc. All right, so next up we got the Centurion AVRE. From a huge distance, we decided to lob a shot, and let's see where that lands. So, boom, one hit. It actually hit right here on the track, spalling all into the tank, and took out my ammo and blew the whole tank. So that was pretty awesome. So the AVRE can one-shot this tank from the tracks or from a ground shot right here, but it's kind of a hard shot to hit. So we decided to try to replicate that.
Nope.
As you'll see, front pike just takes out the tracks. You're gonna immobilize them. It took my gun, but you can't kill it from there. So we actually ended up moving up, and we're gonna shoot this Hesh shell right underneath the tank. This is like worst case scenario. Boom. So that shell actually ended up exploding underneath the tank and spalling upwards. So if you want to kill the IS-7 with a huge Hesh shell, you got to use it to your advantage. Hit it where the spalling is going to go into the tank from a lower armored spot, because you're not going to get it from the very front. So we wanted to replicate that one more time. So right up here in the tracks, took out most of the crew of the cannon breach. but I can still move. I could run away if this was a real game. And then that was a shot right on the side of the turret. That ended up finishing us off. So again, use Hesh for what it's worth. Those angled shots are definitely going to be your money shots, but it's definitely a risky shot. All right, guys. So we're here on Hurchin Forest, and we're going to move for a nice C zone flank. We're moving up along the hills right here when my buddy Mr. Snugglebottom notices a leopard moving up from his right hand side. He takes a big shot right there. He calls it out for me, and I actually ended up taking a side shot from that leopard right there. Check this out. One hit heat round right in the back of the turret, right here. So, again, goes to show you these IS-7s, they're a tough nut to crack, but at their BR, they're balanced. Definitely balanced. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this goes to show you that the IS-7 is definitely an extreme contender, but not overpowered. It has its weaknesses, just like every other tank. You know, it is fast. It has a good gun. It has good armor. But just like anything else, once you learn where to shoot it, it's definitely something that can be one shot very easily. Again, lower glacis will disable it if you're at range. It's not moving. Your driver's gone for a moment, especially if you get the engine. It's not moving anywhere. You know, the magic area, basically this little rectangular area right here on both sides of the turret, are a dangerous spot for you to shoot at it or to get shot at, I guess. This optic is another good spot to shoot at. And then side of the turret around this area is all ammo rack area. And then the bottom of the tracks, although at range this is going to be harder to shoot through the tracks. So I would say stick to side shots right here, magic area right here, and then the optics are going to go for the kill shots. Well, guys, I hope you liked the video. If it helped you out, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it and thought it was crap, give it a thumbs down. Tell me what you thought in the comments below. Definitely subscribe for future content. And definitely check me out on Twitch, Twitter. Follow me so you can keep up with what's going on. I try to stream 3 times a week, and I stream all kinds of different stuff. So it's always a fun time over in the channel. All right, guys. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.